What's up, everyone? My name is Abby. I like to read, and yes, I agree. My sleeves are too puffy, but we're gonna go past that. So, it is June, and it's also Thursday, and I'm thirsty, so I'm doing a tag. I'm going to be doing the mid year Freakout book tag. I think that's what it's called. And I will link the creators of this tag down below once I do some research and find out who they are. But whoever you are, thank you for making this tag. It's great. So if you don't know what this tag is, you probably do because everyone's doing it. But it's basically a tag. It's just kind of like a check-in mid-year. So, because it's June, it's the middle of the year, so it's a mid-year check-in tag. So, yeah, let's get started. There are 13 questions in this tag, and I tried to do a book per question. I tried not to repeat books, but there's this one book that just kept coming back. So I'm sorry. I'm not gonna forget to drink this time. So the first question is best book you've read so far in 2020, and that is definitely House of Earth and Blood or Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas. This is a giant book and it is full of so many emotions, and I love it so much. Yes, it is a little hard to get into just because you're thrown right into the world and you're a little bit confused, and it is 800 pages, so it probably takes a while to read this, but the last half of this book was just so good, and I cannot wait for the next book because I know that Sarah J. Maas is going to destroy me. So I'm prepared and I'm ready to be destroyed. Question number 2 is best sequel you've read so far in 2020, and this will be one that I just finished recently, and that is Rage and Ruin by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is the sequel to Storm and Fury. I believe it's called the Harbingers series, and it was so good. I listened to this on audiobook, and it was such a good book. It was so fast paced, so much happening, so much action, and I love all the characters so much. I'm so connected to them, and a little bit of a cliffhanger. I want the third book, but it's gonna be another year, and I'm real sad about it. Question number 3 is new release you haven't read yet but really want to. And for me, this is Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare. I actually just bought this, but I know it's going to be a while before I can read it because I have to read, I have to finish the Mortal Instruments and the Infernal Devices and read the Dark Artifices because I'm reading them in publication order and all of her short story books. So I have a long way to go before I can read Chain of Gold, but I bought it because I really wanted to have the collector's first edition, so I bought it actually today before I filmed this video. But yeah, eventually I really want to read it. It'll be a while though. Question number 4 is most anticipated release for the second half of this year, and this is actually coming out I believe it's June 21st, but I won't be able to read it until July 24th, I think, because that's when the audiobook comes out. And I love the audiobook for this book. If you want to check out a series, let me tell you what the book is first. It is Heartless by Danica Dark. This is, I think it's the 8th. I'll put the correct one if it's not the 8th. I think it's the 8th book in the Crossbreed series. This is a spin-off series to her, I think it's the Marjorie series. It's the Marjorie universe, and it's so good. And this the narrator or the voice, what do you call them? I think they're narrators, voice actors. I'll call them narrator. Nicole Poole is so good at the male voices when she does the male characters, and she's also so good at accents. Every single character sounds so different and is so identifiable, so that's why I don't want to buy the ebook when it comes out. I will wait that extra month because the narration is just, it's so good and it's definitely worth the wait. So I will be reading this the end of July. I'm so excited. I think I'm going to pre-order it. Maybe I already have. I don't know. But this series is so good. So much action. Kick-ass character. Female lead. I love her so much. And so I'm so excited. Definitely my most anticipated release. And this is not a very popular series. I haven't really heard anything about it. It's probably new adult. I would say it's classified as new adult, but it's paranormal, vampires, mages, shifters, it's so good. I highly, highly, highly recommend it if you like paranormal books. Question number 5 is biggest disappointment, and I picked Frostblood by Ellie Blake. This book wasn't bad. I didn't hate it, but for some reason going into this book, I was so excited and I had such high expectations, which is weird because I hadn't really heard much about this book. But when I bought it, there's something about the description that I just really loved, and I was so excited, and it just wasn't as good as what was in my head going into it. So that's why it's probably the biggest disappointment, even though it's not even the least favorite book that I've read so far. I have some books that I've liked less than this book, but I think because I went into this book with such like a excited mindset that it just kind of let me down. Question number 6 is a biggest surprise, and that is Obsidio by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. I went into this with no expectations. I had read the first 2 books a while ago, and so I didn't really remember much, so I was kind of confused when I started this book. And it did take me a while to read the first half. But when I got to the second half, this is not a small book. It's over 600 pages. And I read the second half in like a day. I could not put it down, and I just was not expecting that at all. So it was definitely a pretty good surprise. Question number 7 is favorite new author, debut, or new to you, and I have chosen an author that's new to me, and that is Elise Kova. I binged her Air Awakens series on Audible, and then I also started the sequel series to that. I think it's Air Awakens Vortex Chronicles or something, and I really enjoyed it so much. It's just the action, and I think the character development was really what made me enjoy this so much. The characters over the 5 books just grew so much, and they have so many different sides to them, and you get to explore different sides in each book, and it was so amazing, and I really enjoyed it. Question number 8 is newest fictional crush. This is definitely my newest and biggest fictional crush, but it's also made me really scared. So it is Hunt Athalar from Crescent City, and I'm so scared because Sarah J. Maas has a tendency to do little flip-flops on her love interests, and sometimes they don't live, and sometimes they are evil, and I am so scared what's gonna happen to Hunt. Question number 9 is new favorite character. I have 2. I couldn't decide. The first one is Vala Jarl from the Air Awakens series, and the second one is Bryce Quinlan from, you guessed it, Crescent City. I think I picked both of these characters because of their development through a story. For Vala Jarl's case, it was the development throughout the series. She just got stronger and stronger with every single book, and it was so cool to see her go from this meek library girl to this like warrior person, and I just thought it was really awesome. And then for Bryce, her character development happened in the span of 800 pages. It was like, I don't know what to say. She's just amazing, and I love her. And yeah, I mean, I don't know if I can say much without spoiling it, because I just will keep talking because I love her so much. But yeah, definitely one of my favorite characters. I was just about to say that that's the last time I'll use this book, but literally the next question is using this book, so never mind. Question number 10 is book that made you cry. I've never cried during a book. I think the closest I've ever got to crying during a book was Kingdom of Ash, also by Sarah J. Maas. What a coincidence. But I think the one that gave me the most emotions was probably House of Earth and Blood, because it was my favorite book and I loved it. It is so good. Please read it. Please. I want to talk about it with more people. Question number 11 is a book that made you happy, and that would be A Darker Shade of Magic by V. Schwab. This book was so much fun. I love the characters, especially Kel. Kel and his coat. Something about that coat just makes me so happy. it's beautiful. And Lila, I liked her too. She was a little sassy girl. And yeah, I just really enjoyed this. It was just really fun. Question number 12 is the most beautiful book you've gotten this year. And I picked two books for this because I could not decide. The first one is Clap When You Land by Elizabeth A. Acevedo. And the reason I chose this, well, also because, you know, that's beautiful. But when you take the dust jacket off, there's this. And I think that is so cool and I love it and it's beautiful. The next book I chose for this was Blood Air by Amelie Wynne Zhao. And I love the illustration on this cover. I know a lot of people don't like people on the cover, but I just think that this is beautiful. I love it so much. The back is pretty too. And the last question, this is the point where I realized that I once again forgot to drink water this whole time, and you can see on my face that I'm very disappointed, but I will spare you the long and horrible drinking montage. The last question, question number 13, is what books do you need to read by the end of the year? I actually have a video that I'll link down below that is a list of series that I want to finish by the end of 2020, so all those books are included, but I also have some books that I have included differently from those. That didn't make sense, but we're gonna move on. The first one is Blood Air, and then Ash Princess by Laura Sebastian. I've heard so many good things about this, and I can't believe I haven't read it yet. I really want to do it. Maybe next month. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. And then Divine Blood by Beck Michaels. This is a pretty recent new release, and the description sounds very, Sarah J. Maas-esque, and I love that, and I want to read this really soon. I want to read all these really soon, which makes it really hard because I don't have enough time in the day to read all of these. The next book is Wicked Fox by Kat Cho. I think I am gonna pick this up next month. I think I've officially decided that, so I'm gonna hold myself accountable. I can't back down now. I'm reading this in July. The next book is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. This book is so hyped and I want to know what all the hype is about. Sometimes, I will admit, sometimes I do read series because the fandom is so big and I feel left out. There's a little bit of FOMO going on where I see all this beautiful art and these cute little, like, those people bookmarks. I don't know what they're called. They're magnetic bookmarks with, like, the characters on it. And this fandom is so big, and I feel left out, and I want to be a part of it. So I want to read this soon. And the last book that I want to read by the end of this year is Heartstopper by Alice Osman. I've heard so many good things about this. It sounds so happy and so cute and fluffy, and I want all of it. So that is it. Thank you for staying and watching me hydrate and chug water like I always end up doing. I am really happy with all the books that I've read so far this year. I think I've read a total of 58 so far, and this is my first year getting back into reading. I stopped when I first went into college. I stopped reading for a while, which was really sad because in high school, literally all I did was read. I didn't have many friends. I didn't hang out with people. I would go to school, go to marching band practice, come home, and read until dinner. And so it's been really nice getting back into it. But if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below what your favorite book so far of 2020 is. Subscribe if you want to see more content. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys. Okay, that's the last time I'm using this book, for sure. Because there's only, like, 3 questions left. my biggest fictional crush. Why is that so hard to say? You know, when you... And I'll see you guys in... Whoops.